Hi, I'm Adam Duffus, the Managing Director of VA for You, and this is Task Me Anything, a podcast dedicated to helping you with VAs in your business. We started this business a few years ago with the goal of reducing wage stress within your business, increasing employee happiness, and driving productivity through the roof. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy this week's episode. Welcome to Task Me Anything. We have two incredible guests for our episode 1. First up, we're joined by Anna Kate from Harcourts Property Centre. Anna made some serious ground waves in 2024 when she transitioned from being a real estate assistant to a fully fledged real estate agent and writing over $700,000 GCI in her first year. Absolutely phenomenal result. Anna, welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
And we're also joined live via satellite to the Philippines, a true powerhouse of the virtual assistant world, a key player behind the scenes in Anna's business. And when I'm in the Philippines, he's a wonderful drinking buddy. Jerome, welcome. Thanks for coming, Anna.
Thank you.
Thought we'd start and just say how we know each other. How I know you is over the last 4 or 5 years while you've been floating around my social circle, I suppose.
Yep.
Tell us your background.
I obviously met you, Adam, from our world. We live very close to each other. Well, we did for the last 10 years. I've only just moved recently, but your wife, Claire, is one of my best friends. So we do hang out quite closely in our social world, and that's where I first met you before I was even in real estate, I think.
Possibly.
Yeah, and then I went after I had my young kids, started back into the real estate industry as an assistant, like you just mentioned earlier, to a lead agent, obviously within the area, being their assistant. And in the last year, I've just stepped out on my own, running my own business within Harcourts, like you said.
Wonderful. And Jerome, let's try and see if we've got you over there now. Jerome, you've been with us at VA for You for over 12 months now. And tell us, before you were a VA for Anna, what were you doing?
Before this, I was with Google doing project management with localization, handling local businesses that are expanding worldwide. So translating, it's actually a linguistic localization or project management gig. And then I transitioned working at home, and it's been a year. It took me a year, actually, to find work that I can do at home.
Well, we're absolutely privileged to have you, Jerome. So I want to get to know you too on a deeper level. So I've got some icebreaker questions to start us off today before we get into the VA chat. Anna, if you had to survive a zombie apocalypse with only one office supply, what would it be?
A pencil.
A pencil, and why?
Because I'd stab them all in the eyes with it.
Okay.
No, maybe scissors.
That's probably or a stapler.
Stapler?
Yeah.
Why a stapler?
It's like a weapon.
Like shoot the staples.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to do much damage.
I've never been attacked by a zombie.
Maybe scissors or a pen, stab them.
Jerome, you're a Filipino, so you've been known to love karaoke. What is your go-to karaoke song?
It's What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong.
Oh.
That is a crowd starter.
I see trees of green, red roses too.
Oh, we might cut back later. And if you had to fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck, what would you rather fight?
Why do I have to be so violent?
I don't know.
I'm like killing people, fighting people. Oh my God. The second one. What was the second one?
One horse-sized duck.
One horse-sized duck. Yeah, I feel like a duck's more friendly.
Okay,
I probably agree with you. Jerome, what's the weirdest thing you've ever Googled?
Weirdest thing. I have lots of weird things that I Google. One is there a universe within my subatomic particles?
Oh, very deep. Very deep, Jerome. And Anna, if you could have your virtual assistant to help with one thing in your actual life, not in your virtual life, what would it be?
Cleaning my house, doing my washing, ordering groceries.
Doesn't your partner do all this now?
Oh, shush. I need more help.
Quick ones for you, Anna. Rugby league or cricket?
Oh, gosh. This is tricky for me because my partner plays cricket.
Yes.
But I would prefer to watch rugby league.
Okay, I can't wait for him to see this. Sunshine Coast or Gold Coast?
Sunshine Coast.
Monday motivation or Friday feels?
Friday feels.
No doubt.
For sure.
And maths or Big Brother?
Oh, definitely maths. Big Brother's a bit outdated now, I think.
Yes, a lot of stuff going with maths at the moment. It's been good. So let's get into the VA questions. Try and give some of our audience an insight into your business, Anna. So you jumped into dedicated sales in 2024, and from day one, you decided you were going to have a virtual assistant, and that being Jerome. Why?
I'd been in the industry for a little while, and I knew I was ready to jump in and be an agent, a full-fledged agent, I guess. And I'm very much of the mentality, go big or go home, all or nothing. I had big goals right from day one. I knew what I wanted to achieve, and I knew it was big, hefty goals, which I've done. And for me to just be floundering and trying to figure it out on my own at the beginning, I think would have slowed me down. And I'm a big believer in systems and processes. So I spent a lot of time at the beginning to make sure they were all structured. And part of that was a VA. I wasn't going to make it there on my own.
Yeah, I think I watch a lot of agents who come from an assistant background, who work for an agent writing $1 million a year. They're an attraction agent. They see their agent just naturally being successful, and they leave and go, I'm going to do this myself. And then they go out and then expect the phone to ring, people to list their properties with them, and suddenly it's all very sharp that, oh, I actually have to do some work.
Yeah.
So I think starting with a VA is not a terrible idea.
I agree, for sure.
Certainly for my business. Jerome, you've been working closely with Anna for a while. What makes her stand out?
A lot. Well, Anna's based on what she said earlier, she knows what she wants and she wanted to achieve. So she stands out as a client because she always puts people first. I am a living example of that. I mean, creating an environment where everyone feels valued, that's one of the things that I like the most working with Anna. She's transparent in her communication, fostering trust with and collaboration. Also, her contagiously hard-working nature motivates those around her to give their best. Working with her is enjoyable, really, due to her fun and engaging personality. Most importantly, Anna is consistent, maintaining high standards and reliability in everything that she does. That's
Nice.
what makes Anna stand out.
Wow.
And a lot more, I can say.
Thank you.
Angling for a pay rise.
Yeah.
Anna, if Jerome suddenly went on strike for a day, what's the first thing your business would completely fall apart? Whereabouts in your business would fall apart?
Okay, I want to get into this, but not too much right now that I confuse and lose everyone and bore everyone because I'm a bit of a nerd. But I have a spreadsheet that is like the membrane of my business that Jerome has mastered, and it's his baby, almost to the point now where I created these systems at the start, which I told you, but Jerome has now taken it and run with it, and it's just grown upon that to something now where it's almost evolved where I say, Jerome, what is it, where do we put this? What do we do with this? You know, like, okay, I've got a listing. Put it in the spreadsheet everywhere it needs to go. Jerome, actually, can you remind me, where does it need to go? Like, he has now taken that and run with that. So that spreadsheet, controlling all the data management and a lot of my cold data that I'm just servicing leads within my area, that's Jerome's department. That would just fall to the wayside, which is super important.
Goes into my next question really is like, you know, I already know the answer, but the question is, Anna, complete this sentence, data is...
I would say data is to a real estate agent like oxygen to a human being. And the reason I say that is because a real estate agent can't survive without data. Literally, a human can't survive without oxygen, you're dead. If a baby, why are we talking about lots of death and violence? Oh my God.
I know.
If someone's born, right, they need oxygen to survive. as a real estate agent, if you're starting to go out on your own, becoming an agent, the first thing you need is data. What do? You can't just sit in your office and pray and hope for a listing. But even if you do start to work with people or get listings from your network or family or friends, that in itself is data. Like data is everything.
Yeah, and so many agents we start working with and we see is you've got dirty data. And it's almost irrelevant to have dirty data. If you've got names and phone numbers and email addresses of wrong properties, out of suburb, out of state, disconnected numbers, wrong email, like it's just wasteful time. Yep. So have clean data, and you certainly have clean data.
Yeah.
For sure.
Just on that, I also think if you have dirty data, it's making you look like a fool as a real estate agent. The amount of times that an agent will be reaching out to someone and it's the right name or wrong property, or they've sold it a week ago or a month ago, whatever it may be.
4 years ago.
You're not doing your job as a professional, as a real estate agent, to service that area or that client.
Yeah. Jerome, complete this sentence. I get excited by...
Well, I always get excited by opportunities to, tackle new challenges, collaborate with creative teams, and, see projects that come to life with any innovative solutions. I like to solve problems.
Absolutely. So on top of Jerome, you've got another VA in your team. Tell me about her as well.
Okay.
Let's start into...
So Joanne, I've got Joanne and Jerome. I started with Jerome and it's evolved now. Joanne is full-time calling, all day, every day, cold calling. So by the time the data reaches me, it's a lot warmer, or the leads are a lot warmer. And when we're working with the cold data, Jerome is doing all of the admin tasks, all of the market updates, for example. Joanne is doing all the cold calling, and then we're deciphering where they go within the business. Do they go to Jerome? Are they cold data? Are they a bit warmer? Are they coming to me? Are they going to a certain hot pipeline? Joanne's calling all day, every day.
But what do you say to agents who are like, and I experience it, you experience it, we get lots of phone calls from the Philippines or India trying to sell us something, interrupting our day. What do you say to people who say, I don't want to have that as part of my business?
Okay, I would be, first of all, asking them how many phone calls they make themselves a day or within their business a day. Joanne, on average, does 150 phone calls a day. Some days it's 160, 170. Other days, if they're longer conversations, might be 140. If an agent can sit in front of me and say that they are genuinely making 150 phone calls every day, fine. If you've got the time to do that, or if you've got someone in your team who is English speaking to do that, great. But more often than not, they're not making that many phone calls. And I would rather the phone calls to be done, whether it's from a different accent or not, to me, at least they're being done. And a story off the back of this, actually, it's just popped into my mind now. I've just listed a property in Birkdale. Joanne called them. She got in the door, got me an appraisal, in-person appraisal. The first thing that this owner said to me when I arrived is, I nearly hung up the phone. When the person from your team called me, I nearly hung up the phone. I don't know what it was, why I gave her time of day. And then he said, I don't think you should be working with her. I think you need someone who is here in Australia speaking English. And I said, oh, but she got me in the door. I'm here meeting with you right now. And he goes, oh, I guess she did. I guess you're right. Continued the conversation. I've now listed that property. So whether people like to speak to someone with an accent or like you're saying, it's getting in the door, it's getting traction, and other people don't mind, some people do.
Yeah, and look, and I do come across agents who are making, maybe not 150 calls a day, but I see agents that do make 50 to 70 calls a day, here, and they're hardworking agents and they get results. And to those people, I don't ever want them to have a cold calling VA. I wish someone offered me one 6 years ago when I was a real estate agent still, because I made a total of 0 calls a year.
Yeah.
So I literally sat back and just expected my phone to ring.
Yeah.
Not
gonna happen.
Silly me. So what would you say to agents out there that are hesitant about hiring a VA? What would your advice be to them as to why? Just rip the Band-Aid and do it.
Depends why they're hesitant. If it's a financial reason, you've got to invest in yourself to get anywhere. I think people want opportunity, money, success to fall in their lap, but aren't prepared to do the hard work or invest financially to get there. So I knew, going back to what we were talking about before, I knew I had to invest time, I had to invest money, I had to employ people to get to my big, audacious goals. I would say if it's for the reasons of having someone that's not actually here, virtually overseas, you've got to actually just get in and try it and experience the value that they can bring to your business. And if they really need to know firsthand before they do commit, give me a phone call. I'm more than happy to go through and explain my personal experience. And my business would not be where it is right now without my 2 VAs. I know, hand on heart, it wouldn't.
Oh, that is a great offer, actually, Anna. I encourage everyone to do that. Look, we've gone back and forth over this, but your business is as much as you're willing to invest. And a VA in Brisbane, where we're based, it's one sale a year. That pays for your VA. And I think, the property management part of our businesses has been very heavily dominated by VAs for a long time, to great success. But the sales agents probably have never really thought that they could utilise this.
Yeah.
And I think people are really worried about, how do I communicate? How do I train? How do I talk to them? And I'd love you just to quickly say how you communicate, how you talk, how you train, to show people that it's no different.
I did spend a lot of time with Jerome. I had Jerome to begin with, just him and I when I started. And I remember I had a listing about 45 minutes from my office. So I'm not sure if you remember this, Jerome, but I would be driving quite a lot, and Jerome would say to me, Anna, make sure you're paying attention while you're driving, because I'd just be talking to him on Bluetooth and going through and training and spending a lot of time. I did the work myself to know these programs inside out. So I'd be driving 45 minutes and on the phone to Jerome saying, okay, click on these 3 dots, a menu button will come down, it will say this, click on that. Now what you do here, and that's just wasted, usually that's wasted time driving. Whereas I spent all of that time in conversation with Jerome, teaching him how to do all those time-consuming tasks like sending out market updates, comparative market analysis, CMAs. Jerome does all of my CMAs. Jerome does all of my market updates. I use programs like Realtor. He uses all that. Jerome logs into my emails, sends emails out as me. I'm driving and communicating with them, and then using that time making value of that time. But usually, if I'm just busy in and out of appointments, we've got a WhatsApp group with all of us, my whole team, and I'm sending voice notes all the time. I'm just walking in and out of the office on the run. I'll pick up my phone, say, hey, Jerome, I just saw this email come in. Can you please respond to this email saying XYZ?
Yep.
Done, taken care of. Hey, Jerome, I need contact details for this person. Done, sent to me. Hey, Jerome, can you please send an email here? Hey, Jerome, can you please email marketing? Can you please email admin? I need an appraisal. I need this. I need that. So all of the time-consuming tasks were now all given to Jerome. So then it freed me up to really focus on prospecting, working with the warm leads, and servicing my buyers and sellers.
Yeah, I think when I talk to people about it, they go, if I have to ring someone in the Philippines, it's hard to ring to the Philippines. There's a delay when you ring overseas, which is what it was like 10 years ago, I suppose, when you rang overseas. Now you've data ringing. You're ringing in WhatsApp. It's on your car kit. You make a call. You can have your headset in. So I think we need to get out of that mindset that Jerome, Joanne, my assistant V, they are 3,400 and something kilometres away, but really we converse like they're right here.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Anna, thank you. Guest number 1, Jerome, thank you all the way over there.
Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to seeing you next week, Jerome. Anna, you've been an absolute asset to my business in the last 12 months. So I wanted to make sure you were guest number 1.
Thank you.
And thanking you for all your support. That's it. That's episode 1 done.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jerome.